The explosion had been inevitable. Arya knew it the moment she saw the plasma charges indicator flashing red beside the Kryn Cubs' shelter pod. In the span of a heartbeat, instinct overrode reason. She didn't think about the shrapnel, the blast radius, or her own fragile human body. She only thought about the three small furry beings huddled inside, children of the galaxy's most feared predator species, now helpless and terrified. She threw herself over the pod. The world became fire and metal fragments. Pain bloomed across her back, like 1,000 burning stars. Then, nothing. Consciousness returned slowly, dragging Arya from the comfortable void. Her first sensation was warmth, unexpected, given that she should have been dead in the frozen vacuum of the damaged colony station. Her second sensation was the weight of attention, heavy as gravity, pressing down on her from all sides. Arya's eyes fluttered open. 7 pairs of eyes stared back. The Kryn stood in a semicircle around her, their massive forms casting shadows across what appeared to be a medical chamber. Each stood nearly 3 meters tall, covered in midnight black fur that rippled over corded muscle. Their faces were angular, almost feline, with pronounced canines that jutted past their lower jaws. These were apex predators from a death world where everything evolved to kill or be killed. This was the Predator Council. At the center stood Vor, the council's leader. His silver-streaked mane marked him as an elder, and scars crisscrossed his exposed arms, each one a story of survival. His amber eyes fixed on Arya with an intensity that made her breath catch. "She wakes," Vor rumbled, his voice like distant thunder. The translator implant in Arya's ear rendered his words, but couldn't quite capture the subsonic resonance that vibrated through her chest. Arya tried to sit up. Pain lanced through her back, and she gasped. Immediately, a smaller Kryn, still, massive by human standards, moved forward with a medical scanner. "Don't move, human," the medic growled. "You have 17 pieces of shrapnel embedded in your posterior dorsal region. 3 penetrated deep enough to reach your pulmonary cavity. By all our medical understanding, you should have expired before we extracted you from the debris." "The cubs," Arya croaked, her throat dry. "Are they alive?" Vor interrupted. His tail swished once, a gesture Arya had learned meant agitation. "Unharmed, because of you." Silence filled the chamber. The council members exchanged glances, their ears twitching in what Arya recognized as a silent form of communication. She'd spent 6 months on this colony station, working as a human liaison to the Kryn refugees fleeing the contested zones. 6 months learning their language, their customs, their ways. 6 months proving that humans could be trusted. She never expected to prove it like this. "We do not understand," said another council member, a female named Shira. Her voice carried confusion, almost distress. "Our cubs were not your offspring, not your pack, not even your species. The rational action was to preserve yourself, yet you chose certain death to protect them." Arya managed a weak smile. "That's what humans do." "No." Vor stepped closer, leaning down until his massive head was level with hers. His breath smelled of something spicy, alien. "That is not what most species do. The Kryn protect our young because biology demands it. Hormones, instinct, genetic imperative. The threshold breed defend their offspring as property, investments. The Ceph safeguard their larvae as extensions of the hive mind. But you?" His claw tapped gently against his own chest. "You have no biological imperative to protect Kryn cubs. No genetic relation, no chemical compulsion. You chose this." "Choice is the human superpower," Arya whispered, something her grandmother used to say. She'd never truly understood it until now. Vor straightened, addressing the council. "For 300 cycles we have asked the galaxy, what makes humans dangerous? We assumed it was their weapons, their adaptability, their stubborn refusal to accept limits." He turned back to Arya. "We were wrong. What makes humans dangerous is that they act without the chains of instinct. They choose their tribe. They choose their cause. They choose to throw themselves on explosions for children not their own. Another council member, younger with unmarked fur, spoke up. This is madness. Evolutionary suicide. How did such a species survive? Arya laughed, then winced at the pain. Because when you choose your tribe instead of being born into it, your tribe becomes everyone worth protecting. We survived because we decided that humanity wasn't just our species. It was an idea. And ideas don't need DNA. Vor's tail went still, a sign of deep contemplation. You have given us much to consider, Arya of Earth. He made a gesture, and the other council members began to file out, their heavy footfalls fading into the corridor beyond. Only Vor remained. My daughter was among the cubs you saved, he said quietly. Kara. She is my youngest, my last surviving child. The wars have taken the others. Arya felt tears prick her eyes. I didn't know. I just saw kids in danger. I know. That is precisely why we must reconsider everything we believed about your kind. Vor reached into a pouch at his side and withdrew a small pendant, a Kryn family crest, ancient and honored. He placed it gently on the table beside Arya's bed. You are packed now, by choice as humans do, but also by our law. You shed blood for our cubs. That makes you Kryn in the ways that matter. I'm still human, Arya said softly. Yes, Vor agreed, his fanged mouth curving into what might have been a smile. And now you are also something more. The galaxy will learn what the Predator Council has learned today, that humanity's true strength is not in their warships or their weapons, but in their incomprehensible, illogical, beautiful willingness to choose love over survival. He moved toward the door, then paused. Rest, Arya, heal, and know that 3 cubs who would have died will grow up telling the story of the human who chose them. Stories shape species. You have just changed ours. As Vor departed, Arya lay back, exhaustion pulling at her. Through the pain and the medication fog, she smiled. She thought of home, of Earth, of humanity scattered across 1,000 worlds, all of them making the same impossible choice every day, to care when logic said not to protect when instinct said flee. To choose family from strangers, that was the human way. And now it seemed the galaxy was finally beginning to understand why that made them dangerous.